All right, guys, so I've been out and purchased today's Spanish football dailies. I've been to the cafe. I've had a few coffees. I had 4 today. Yeah, that's because I had a lot to do. What with this Mo Salah, situation. We've been making videos about that today, which is why this video is a little bit later than usual. So basically, if you're new to the channel, I go out and buy the Spanish football dailies each day to keep an eye on, what's being said about Trent Alexander-Arnold and Real Madrid, to see what's being said about Tchouameni, Cuba, another player that's been linked with us, and of course Mamardashvili that plays for Valencia, and any other former Liverpool players, that might be in Spain. So I touch on those things each day. Primarily, the reason that we're getting the papers at the moment is to see what they're saying about Trent Alexander-Arnold, because the Liverpool hacks, they want you to believe that, the Spanish media are constantly talking about Trent. So each day I let my peoples know, hey guys, this is what they're saying about Trent, or this is what they aren't saying about Trent. So we even make videos when there's nothing about Trent, just so that you can see that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think anything's been mentioned about Trent in the Spanish dailies, the football dailies, since the Liverpool game, since Liverpool, turned Real Madrid over. So we'll keep on, checking that so you can see just exactly what they are or aren't saying. So, are they talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold today? No, again, not a mention regarding him. Also, nothing in Marca or AS, the two newspapers that focus quite heavily on Real Madrid. Nothing in those about Real Madrid's, need to recruit a right back or anything like that. But there are things that I want to talk to you about. I will be talking about my boy Aspas again very briefly. There's nothing about Tchouameni. There's nothing about Cuba, and there is nothing about Mamardashvili. I do touch on Sevilla because we're linked with Loic Bade, but he wasn't involved for them in their last game, so there's nothing, of interest there for you either. In all honesty, unless you're just interested in seeing what these papers are saying in general regarding Real Madrid, etc., there's no need to watch the video because there's nothing in here of any importance to do with Liverpool Football Club. So we'll start with Marca. They're talking about Mbappe's penalty misses. They actually did an article today talking about his penalty misses again. They published an article discussing his penalty failures in his career. And they add that Kelleher at Liverpool and Julian Aguirrezabala at Bilbao both guess where he would aim for. They say his 2 errors in a row raise the question of whether it is reckless for him to be responsible again. Should he be taking the penalties kind of thing. With regard to Real Madrid, in general, there was one opinion piece today by a journal titled "The Toothache of Watching Madrid." The best footballer in the world, according to them, Mbappe, arrives at the best club in the world, according to them, Real Madrid. And suddenly he is small, erratic, nervous, lacking confidence, gripped by anxiety. It seems as if the white shirt that has waited for him for so long is taking its revenge. I am the boss here, not you. What is wrong with Mbappe is the question. And also this journalist goes on to say it's not just that they've already lost 5 games, Real Madrid. It's that their football is boring and very boring. Ancelotti could be in trouble, guys. They talk about Real Madrid's games in December. I think I've mentioned this in a few videos already. I think they've got a game every 3 days. And it says Madrid faces a much more important month of December than it would like. And Ancelotti is yet to find the formula. And they play Girona, who are 8th in La Liga, I think, tomorrow. That was basically it in Marca today. Like I say, nothing in there to do with any Liverpool-related stuff. AS, they were talking about Jude Bellingham's form. There was praise for Jude, saying he's back to his best now. This is important because the press are not slaughtering him at the moment, right? If they were, then obviously Trent Alexander-Arnold would be aware of this and he would see how salty, the Spanish media and Real Madrid fans can be. Do you remember a few weeks back, they were writing a bit, weren't they, about Bellingham, saying, he's not really doing it, but he was being not used in the proper position, I think, or not being used effectively by Ancelotti. And I did wonder at the time if, maybe, Trent would be like, oh, fucking hell, they get stuck in, don't they? Because if things go wrong at Real Madrid, if you're not performing, they sharpen them knives. If you think the British press are bad, these are horrendous. They'll be throwing pigs' heads at you and everything. So it does make you wonder, and that's why I think Real Madrid would be a bad move for Trent. I have a video, excuse me, I'm not very well. I have a video for you coming up today regarding Trent Alexander-Arnold, but I think that's going to have to be for channel members, guys, because I want a quiet life, and I don't think people, I don't know. Sometimes if you do a video with a catchy title, it drags new people in, and they can be a bit like that, and I can't be doing with it today because I'm not too good. So there's a fly in here. I fucking hate flies. Bellingham is back, but he's on his own. He's basically the message that's being conveyed today. They're praising him, saying he's back, he's playing better, but he's the only one in this Real Madrid side that's really turning it on, because Mbappe isn't. There's also a bit about the Real Madrid's ownership. A journalist called Diego Barchala in AS wrote, "I have no doubt that Florentino Perez will put part of Real Madrid up for sale. He says and will say that it is to protect the wealth of the partners. I think it's the end of a club that built the largest stadium in Europe only with the money of its members, obviously. I'll get to that in a minute, how Real Madrid is owned. An independent club that does not submit to anyone and that never gives a moral inch to its opponents." So Real Madrid operates under like a unique ownership model in professional football. It's owned and managed by its members, basically. Dedicated supporters, who pay an annual membership fee, granting them voting rights and a voice in the club's significant decisions, including the election of the club president and the board of directors. And it's estimated there's around 90,000 of these members. Now, this member-owned structure classifies Real Madrid as a non-profit organisation, which prevents private investors from holding stakes in the club. However, this month, that's my dog Remy barking out there. However, this month, Florentino Perez proposed a corporate reorganisation aimed at making members the true owners of the club. While specific details of this proposal have not been fully disclosed, it suggests a potential shift that could allow for external investment, a significant change from the club's traditional model. Currently, the club's ownership is exclusively in the hands of its members, with no shares available for public purchase or private ownership. The proposed changes, pending member approval, could alter this structure, potentially opening avenues for third-party investments. That would be a big change for Real Madrid. The exact implications of this reorganisation would depend on the final details and the outcome of the members' votes. Okay, so Sevilla, they won 3-1 away from home last night in the Copa del Rey. My dogs. Remy! Knock it off! Showing off because his other mates are barking. Sevilla won 3-1 away from home against Minos Olot in the Copa del Rey. So that's the King's Cup. It's basically like their main tournament over here. It dates back to 1903 or something crazy like that. And the tournament winner does get a spot in the UEFA Europa League, if they haven't qualified already. Barcelona have won it more times than anyone, 30 times, I think. And I was doing a little bit of research on it. It said it was previously called the Copa del Generalissimo. I can't fucking pronounce that. During Francisco Franco's dictatorship, but reverted to its original name after his death in 1975. So the translation of Generalissimo, I can't pronounce that, from Spanish to English is Supreme General or Highest General. Obviously, Franco was a dictator here from 1939 to 1975. See, I do research all these things for you. So it's the King's Cup and Copa del Rey, and Sevilla were in action. And the reason I'm mentioning that to you is because Loic Bade was not involved in the game. Some people might be keeping an eye on Sevilla and wondering why he's not playing, because they were playing Minos again. I think I mentioned this the other day with regards Valencia and the goalkeeper Mamadashvili. He wasn't involved. I think the reserve keeper and the third choice were involved. I think Aspas wasn't involved for Celta Vigo. So I'm just mentioning this because Loic Bade is a player that Liverpool have an interest in. And if you're tracking them games and you only look at the results, maybe in the team lineups, and you don't know the competition, that's why Loic Bade, he will come back into the side, obviously. If you remember, after the after the transfer window closed, I remember making a video on here telling you, making a claim, if you like, it's up to you whether you believe it or not, that Richard Hughes had gone out to Sevilla. Now, at the time, I had no idea why that may be, what was behind that. And I eventually, after that, did another video touching on Loic Bade, and one of you guys said in the comments, "Hey, Dunk, do you remember you mentioned Richard Hughes going out there. And then we've seen quite a bit of speculation about Liverpool having an interest in Loic Bade. If you've not seen any of that, you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not explaining myself very well because I'm not very well today. I've got blinded headache. Just keep an eye on Loic Bade, Loic Bade. It's a centre-back. I think if there was a chance that Virgil could have left, he might have come in, but he could still come in anyway. Certainly one to write about. Now, to monitor, sorry. Now, my boy Aspas. I read this article today in AS. It says, as someone who drinks coffee every morning, Aspas, he drinks coffee every morning like me. Aspas has another historical record within reach. He's 2 goals away from reaching another legend of the league, which was Samuel Eto'o. The Cameroonian scored 162 goals, 54 of them with Mallorca, or it is Mallorca, in the domestic championship, a figure that the Celta Vigo star can match tonight if he gets a double or even surpass with a hat-trick. The fact of being able to achieve it against the Vermilion team, where Eto'o began to forge his legend, gives the story more epic. It is only a matter of time to overtake the Cameroonian. However, the next goal will have to be left for next season. Next goal as in next target. Gorostiza and Luis Suarez with 178 goals each are too far away for him to catch up this campaign. And that's why he can't retire yet. They love Aspas out here, they really do. Now here's one for you. Melo, do you remember him? Fucking hell, Arthur Scargill would have played better for Liverpool, I think. Well, at least Arthur Scargill would have got a game. Former Liverpool midfielder Arthur Melo, who was on loan with Liverpool during the 22-23 season, and he's basically been linked with Girona, all right, in the La Liga outfit. Let me explain. He's under contract with Juventus until 2026, but he's looking for a way out because he's not played a single minute this season, during the season. His last official match was during his loan at Fiorentina in May, the Conference League final against Olympiacos. And his agents have been looking for possible destinations for him, and discussions with La Liga outfit Girona have been initiated in recent days. Finally, we're going to go to Sport, which is the pro-Barcelona newspaper. And they're talking about Aurelien Tchouameni, right? This is a player that's often linked with Liverpool, and they're sticking a knife in a bit. They're saying that he continues to have disappointment with Real Madrid. Ancelotti decided to line him up in the difficult departure from Real Madrid to Bilbao. I don't know what that means. That's not a proper translation. I think it was a difficult game. It was, if I remember rightly, he just come back from injury and was used in that game in his natural position. The Frenchman had not played for a month due to a severe ankle sprain that had him he was out more time than desired. The coach decided to change what was working to fit him in, and it ended up being he was singled out to add to another disappointing performance. Basically said Real Madrid did not miss him during his absence, but Ancelotti did. He put him in his natural position, but it failed again. Tchouameni has not been competing for a month, and his lack of rhythm was noticeable. Basically saying Tchouameni failed. He fails when he feels the breath of the rivals on his neck. His best profile is a defensive one, but he only shines when his team stands in 3/4 of this field. However, he does not accompany the pressure with his teammates to try to steal the opponent's ball. He hooks into position and leaves spaces for the opponent to come out on top. So basically, the pro-Barcelona newspaper just sticking a knife in on Tchouameni there. He's a player that continues to be linked with Liverpool. All right, guys. That is your review of today's Spanish Football Dailies. I know I struggled a bit with it today. I can sense that myself. At the end of every video I record for you guys, I always think, did I do all right? And halfway through, I think, I'll just stop it, But I don't know if I stopped it and started recording again, I don't think I'd make it any better. I've got a blinding headache, bit of a chesty thing. I'm off form. That's it, really. All right. So that gives you a little bit of a summary of what's been said in Spain today. Nothing to do with Trent Alexander-Arnold once again. All right, guys. If you appreciate this video, do thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. And if you want to buy me a coffee, you can hit that thanks button under the video. If it's not there, there are other ways in the video description to support me. Thanks ever so much, guys, and I'll speak to you real soon.